And like anything that we do, acquiring knowledge or investing in yourself, these are important things that I think people can try and, hone in on. But what are some of the skills that you learned throughout your entrepreneurial journey, in particular in business and life and even, parenting?
Yeah, I think whether it's in fitness or even like accounting, whatever teacher, like any career path, you could start as a security guard. I think a lot of career paths start from a place of like, you are the practitioner.
Yes.
Right? Like I am the instructor, I am the accountant. And, obviously that journey is related to you becoming a subject matter expert in that particular field, right? And so that's what I spent probably the first, from 2002 to 2015 doing. I just spent the first 13 years becoming as good as I could be at that particular craft. And then obviously because I created such a gap between how quickly I could get a result for someone in my field compared to my competitors,
yes,
I grew such a much larger business. So the original Clean Health with gyms and stuff like that, I wasn't a fucking good businessman then. I wasn't. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was good at getting people results. I was good at marketing those results, and I was good at selling those results. When it came to operations, when it came to finance, when it came to management, when it came to technology, when it came to intricate details, I wasn't good at that. It was only when I went through and as my business, and that you can be good as an entrepreneur from like $100,000 to $1 million just through being good at fucking like be an expert. Be good at expressing that through marketing, and then be good at selling it. And generally, if you're an expert, it's very easy to sell your shit, right? And that'll take you to $1 million, even maybe $1.5 to $2 million, quite comfortably. But once you start going to 2 to 3 to 3 to 4, and the point where we are now, where we're doing tens of millions of dollars per year, those skills aren't enough, right? So you either need to level up those skills or level up your skills, or bring people in to do that. So, to give you an example, I can now sit on with our CFO, I can sit on with our accountants, and I'm fucking on it just as much as them. I'm the one pulling up shit because I know my business better than they fucking do.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Back then, I was like, oh, you're an accountant. Oh, I'll listen to you. Now, no, you're there. I pay you for advice. But I've done that many hours under the bar with Excel documents, with P&Ls, with fucking, SOPs, with all this type of stuff that, I now am, maybe it's not my profession per se, but I can hold my own in any part of the business now. And a large part of it, to be honest, it's time.
Yes.
It's time. I've had this recently with one of our new SLT members, and he was a C-suite executive in $100 million plus business, and he's kind of coming. He's like, fuck. He's like, you're like an expert in fucking every area. He's like, I'm an expert in one or two, and it's like, how can I ever kind of match that? And I'm like, bro, I've been doing this for 23 years. Like I didn't come out of the womb of business like a fucking. My role now as chairman, I have a board, I have people that report into me, I have CEOs in my companies. I didn't start like that.
Yeah.
It's all come through time under the bar. So I think I think that the main thing is, I think, the focus that you apply to your initial career of getting good, I chose to apply that to becoming good at business.
Yes.
And so from 2015, 2016, when I nearly lost everything, I made that choice. I'm like, you know what? I can't be the subject matter expert and the CEO. I have to be one. I can't do both. And that's probably another lesson for entrepreneurs is when you get to $2, $3, $4 million, unless you bring a GM in, an operator in or something like that, you are going to have to evolve the fuck up to be the person that takes to 8 figures and beyond.
What's harder, your first 100,000 or your first million?
It's a fucking good question. I'd say, to be honest, the first 100,000.
Yeah.
And for me, because I think the first million comes just from the confidence and repetition of the first 100,000.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's like, I think once you get to 100 and once you get to say 200, 250 in particular, depending on the market that you're in, because some markets just won't have the growth potential too. So that can be a limitation. Like we talk about having passion for whatever you do, finding the problem that you want to solve, acquiring the skills to solve that problem. But the one part I didn't mention was, does that market vertical actually have enough revenue opportunity in it, right? So for example, right now in our market vertical, we're looking at expanding out into like Pilates and yoga. Because if we do that, I've got the opportunity to capture a piece of $1 billion, $1.5 billion a year in revenue that's in our marketplace right now in certifications. Yeah. In fitness, it's about $500 million. But if we expand into Pilates, all of a sudden, Clean Health Group has an opportunity, even if we take fucking 5% of that. All of a sudden, we're doing 9 figures plus of revenue like that.
Yes.
Right? So I think the market vertical is really important too. But so, if I was to go back in time to when I started, I'd probably be a bit more strategic with that. It's like maybe write down the top 3 things that you're passionate about, like what wakes you up with wood every morning, right? To use the crude term. And then once you've identified that, what skills you would need to solve that problem, actually have a look at the market vertical. Does that market vertical have the opportunity for you to do $1 million? But then you also need to ask yourself, is like, what do you need? Sorry, what do you want? Not what do you need. What do you want? Because I think, for example, what my wife and I have built, it's not for everyone. It's not everyone's idea of success. For me, I'm a very purpose-driven person. I have big intentions in this life that I want to leave on the planet. For us, there is no other way or option to achieve those intentions unless we just keep fucking growing.